Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new video. Today we're on to another episode of my Flipping Farm series. This week was very successful, although there were a few drawbacks. Mainly that the air rune actually switched to 4 into 5 from 5 into 6, and I did not even realize this until I was halfway through putting the offers in. So we are going to reduce the amount of air runes we are going to be buying probably by half because we have a lot of air runes to sell still. So we're going to go ahead and grab all the items from all the accounts and we'll see what we have left over. And then we're going to go ahead and add on another 5 accounts today. So that'll bring us up to 40 accounts, 5 of them which will be for selling. So it's going to be a lot. It's already taken me like 45 minutes to check the offers. So it's probably going to be close to an hour soon here. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoy and let's get started. Alright, so on our selling account number 2, we ended up selling all of the fire runes, all of the earth runes, but we did not sell the air runes. We probably still needed to sell about half of them. So I think what we're going to end up doing is reducing our amount of accounts probably from 9, which it is now, to 4 maybe, or even 5, I don't know. But we're going to reduce it pretty substantially. Alright, we're on to account number 3. Once again, we sold off all the items except for the air runes in about the same amount, so about half. Now one thing worth keeping in mind is even though we reduce the amount of accounts, we could easily just bump up the amount of items we're buying per slot. Because if they're all coming through anyway, it's not going to be that wasteful. That being said, at this point I still hadn't realized that the prices had changed to 4 into 5. So with the prices down to 4, it probably is going to take a lot longer to buy air runes. So we're going to have to play by ear and see if the prices stay the same. On account number 3, we managed to sell off everything. And we didn't actually have air runes on this account for some reason. One thing we probably could benefit from is having more selling accounts, but I don't think it's worth it just for one item right now. I think it's better to just reduce the amount we're buying, and maybe once we expand the farm a bit more, we can add on more selling accounts, but right now we have 6, which I think is plenty. Alright, here is account number 5, and we actually managed to sell off almost all of the maple logs. That's pretty exciting, honestly. The week before we were struggling to sell that, but now it seems we pretty much just broke even. It took pretty much all week to sell the exact amount we bought, so it looks like it's at a nice level, so we'll probably leave that amount of maple logs until we add on more accounts at least. Still did not sell 343k air runes, so that's going to add up pretty quickly. Alright, and we're going to check our last account here, and same deal. We actually only sold about a third of the air runes here. So in the end, we just had like a tiny little bit of maple logs left over, which is fine, and about 1.5 mil air runes, which sucks, especially since the price has gone down. So we'll have to keep that in mind for our final calculation. We're probably going to have to take off like 2 or 3 mil from our profit this week just because the air rune lost value. We are not losing any money, we're just losing potential profit. So anyway, let's go ahead and update the spreadsheet. So before we get into checking all of the accounts, I just want to switch up the way we're going to rearrange the beginning part here because we have 9 offer slots on air runes right now, which is too high. So we're probably going to switch this down to maybe 4, and then we're going to go ahead and add on more fire runes and maybe more pure essence. So we might bump the fire runes up to 16 and the pure essence up to an even 20. So that will give us the same amount of offer slots we had before. Now keep in mind, this is before we even add on our 5 new accounts this week, so they may even go up more. But there we go, we still have 30 account slots with 5 selling accounts, and that should all be in order. So now we're gonna go ahead and check all our offers and see how much we profited from this week. So once again, items like the fire rune were extremely successful. I think we bought out the entire offer slot for every single one we had on all of the accounts. Items like the water rune and earth rune seem to be settling around the same as they were last week, but that kind of makes sense. We didn't really change them last week. The pure essence continue to be good, but for some reason, I cannot explain this. The accounts that I put the pure essence on the most recently, so the accounts 30 to 35, those ones I put them on that week, they bought out in their entirety, where some of my other accounts didn't even buy half. It boggles my mind so much, it doesn't make any sense. I was almost certain that the longer you had your offer in for, the higher priority you would have, but maybe the volume is just so high for these items that it just pretty much just randomly assigns it to people. I don't know, but it does not seem to follow any pattern as far as I can tell. I don't know if you guys have any more information on this. If you do, leave a comment down below. What gives priority to buying items over other people? I don't know. But accounts 30 to 35 ended up buying the most items out of all of my accounts for whatever reason. I don't know what it is. So we ended up buying about 3.4 mil air runes, and that is including some we didn't sell last week. So we're gonna have to sell those for 5, and that's gonna be about 2.5 mil or something of this week's profit that is no longer profit. It's just a break-even amount, which kind of sucks. We got 3.1k fire runes, which is awesome. 2.8k Pure Essence, 1.8k Earth Runes, 1.4k Water Runes, 654k Mind Runes, actually 582k Jugs of Wine, which is pretty good for the amount of offer slots we have, 550k Iron Arrows, 468k Maple Logs, 415k Feathers actually, and 320k Vials of Water. So in total we bought 15 mil, 613k items, which is quite a lot. That's about 6 mil more than last week. Keeping in mind 3 mil of that is no longer profit, but still that is still a marked increase over the week 2. So I mentioned last week I wanted to add on a new item this week, and I'm going to do so probably as a trial run of just 1 or 2 offer slots. So we're going to go ahead and make 5 new accounts, and this should actually be quicker now because they've streamlined the tutorial island process a bit. You no longer have to prospect the rocks. You no longer have to toggle your run, check the music or emotes tab, and the first tutor has been streamlined a bit more as well. So we'll have to see if we can beat our personal best here, but let's go ahead and make 5 new accounts.
So I decided this time just to record 1 of my accounts because I was getting a severe amount of lag by trying to record 5 copies of RuneLite and using OBS at the same time. So I think you can trust me enough to know that I am going to do this on 5 accounts. To begin with here, what is with that taskbar is totally different. So you no longer have to prospect the rocks, you just go straight into mining. So that saved me about 20 seconds. It's kind of a nice change. And also you should just be able to left click on the furnace and not have to like go through the interface or anything like that. Just left click and it smiths the bars. Pretty nice. So we're on the mainland. We're going to go ahead and get the 7 quest points, and then we'll go ahead to the Grand Exchange and buy some new items. All right, so now we're going to decide which items we're going to put on our 5 new accounts. Now I want to put on 1 new item, and I think that is going to be bronze arrows. So we're going to start here just by checking the per account totals from last week. Now I went ahead and put it back to what the arrangement was last week instead of making that first change I did in the beginning of the episode, just to make sure the per account totals are correct. So air runes, way too high because we're not selling them. Fire runes are 238k, that's still extremely good. 150k for water runes, 142k for earth runes. Now one thing I noticed when I logged in is that air runes are back to 5 and 6. So I don't know, I might have to go change those offers at 4, but that's overall good for us because we'll hopefully be able to sell off those air runes, and we can just log all of our totals as profit this week. So this is what we changed already. So now we're only doing 4 air runes, we're doing 16 fire runes, and 20 pure essence. So we're just going to delete some of this information because it's incorrect, because it's actually using a function in the spreadsheet. So now we need to add on 15 new offer slots. So we're going to do the bronze arrow down here, and I think we're going to go with maybe 3 offer slots to begin with this week. It actually trades more per week than iron arrows. I don't know why it ended up doing that first, but it looks like a good item. And I think once again, we're going to add on pure essence because we're only at 142k per account, which is still pretty good. So we're going to go add on 3 more pure essence. Honestly, probably 3 more fire runes as well. We'll bring that up to 19. We'll go for 3 more water runes. And I think we're just going to go for 3 more earth runes because they are definitely the best performing items. And we'll bring it up to 16, which will bring us up to 35 account slots as our buying items, 105 offer slots in total. And let's go ahead and add those on. Alright, so account number 1, we are going to first do our new item, the bronze arrow. I believe it is 5 into 6 or 4 into 5. So it follows pretty much in line with the other items, and I don't think it changes in price too frequently. So we're going to go ahead and do it 5 into 6 it looks like. So we're going to go try maybe 200,000. One problem with this is only has a buy limit of 7,000 as opposed to the runes, which are 20,000, but still might be worth a shot. We're also going to do the water rune on this account, still buying them for 4 each, and we're going to go for 200k, and we are also going to do the earth rune, which is also buying for 4 and selling for 5. On account number 2, we are going to do the bronze arrow once again, buying it for 5 and selling it for 6. 200,000 it might be a bit of a stretch, but we're going to put it in and leave it. Pure essence we're going to do for 4 into 5, and we'll do 200,000 pure essence. And last up, we're going to do the fire rune for 5 into 6 at 200,000 as well. And on account number 3, we are going to do the earth rune, the water rune for 200,000, and a pure essence offer slot for maybe 250,000 now. And for account number 4, we're going to do the fire rune. We'll do 200,000 of those, the pure essence once again, and we'll do 250k pure essence. And the bronze arrows, will be attempting to buy 600k bronze arrows this week. And here we are, guys, we're finally up to account number 40. That is insane. Just the thought of making 40 accounts right now, it sounds terrible. It just, I would never do it again, except I'll do it next week. So we're going to do 200,000 fire runes, 200,000 water runes, and 200,000 earth runes, I believe. And that is it. We finally set up all of the accounts, 40 accounts strong, and we're still looking pretty healthy as far as the amount of items we're buying. Okay, so to begin with here, let's put in our week 3 profit totals. So we have 35 accounts buying this week finally, and our total amount of items bought was 15,613,000. So that should all be profit, more or less, probably plus or minus 1 mil, but the air runes did actually go back up in price, so it's looking pretty good. So once we add on our total from this week, which was 15.6 mil, it should bring us up to about 335 mil. So 35 mil in profit in 3 episodes so far, and it's just looking better and better every week. Look at that graph, looking pretty nice so far. And we have one brand new item. We're gonna have to see how well that works. If it does work well, we can add on items that are similar, or just keep adding on more bronze arrows. But either way, I think we are looking good to keep adding on, so we'll bump it up to 45 next week. Anyway guys, I hope you're enjoying the series. If you are, don't forget to leave it a like. I would appreciate it. If you're looking for a way to support the channel, there will be a link to my Patreon in the description. Thanks a lot guys, and I'll see you next time.